Some events from SmackDown left fans pretty heated, so we'll see what that issue is there. We'll also check out what's new for Jade Cargill, Charlotte Flair, and more. Starting things off with a situation with SmackDown that has fans upset, confused, and completely lost. And that's a continuation of two never-ending feuds from SmackDown. Under the Triple H regime, there's been an uptick in very, very long feuds between superstars. And that's been something that's been receiving a lot of mixed reviews from fans. Some fans like the extremely long, never-ending feuds, while others feels like it reaches a point where it starts to feel dragged out and stagnant. We've seen a few of those feuds in recent months, the most controversial one being CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. You could say that the feud and program started literally on the first day of CM Punk's return in 2023. They had a match at the Raw Netflix premiere, they had a match at WrestleMania 41, and the program just never concluded. Every time you thought the story was wrapping up, it got a massive extension. And those long feuds like that really split the community, because some like it and others don't. Everyone loves and appreciates long-term storytelling, but when it feels like the long stories aren't really going anywhere, it does tire you out. And there's currently two long-lasting programs on SmackDown that are starting to receive this fan fatigue, and that's Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest versus Aleister Black. Cody Rhodes has been WWE champion since August 3rd, and for all of August, September, October, and now into November, Cody has been feuding with only Drew McIntyre, a feud that's about to teeter on to 5 months, and it's starting to receive lots of complaints from fans because they're tired, and it doesn't appear like this story is actually going anywhere, and it's not a knock at all to the talent themselves. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre are two of the greatest wrestlers on planet Earth, but it's the story and writing here that's affecting how everyone's looking at this feud. You want to be optimistic and hope that it's going somewhere, but it just feels like it's getting that classic treatment of being a feud that gets stretched out but never really goes anywhere in the end. Ever since August, Drew McIntyre has gotten 3 shots at WWE Championship and was unsuccessful in all 3 matches. So the fan argument is that if they're going to pull the trigger and put the WWE title on Drew McIntyre, then why is this feud really still happening? Is Drew going to get a few more opportunities at Cody Rhodes and the WWE title and lose those matches as well? Because if that's the long-term plan for this feud, why is it still going on? Let Cody Rhodes feud with someone new and fresh, and let Drew McIntyre face someone new and build himself up again, instead of just taking the infinite WWE Championship match losses. That appears to be what the majority of the community is saying right now. Fans have a strong feeling that Cody isn't dropping the title at all anytime soon, so putting it into these 4 or 5 month-long feuds with a single person, when you know the title isn't changing hands, it creates that fatigue fans are feeling. And that's exactly where the fans are at right now with the Drew McIntyre and Cody program. Everyone assumes that the title isn't changing hands. So how many more opportunities and losses for Drew until the feud finally wraps up? Similar thing for Damian Priest versus Aleister Black. That's been a feud that's been happening for several months now. It had big moments, such as the heel turn for Zelina Vega and multiple matches along the way, but things started getting stagnant there as well, and fans wanted Aleister Black to move on to something new. Well, the November 7th edition of SmackDown included a huge tease for the fans that wanted to see both Cody and Aleister move into something new. Aleister Black interrupted Cody Rhodes' program, and in that opening segment, they really made it seem like Cody and Aleister were finally moving on from their prior programs and entering something new and fresh with each other. But that didn't last long at all. The main event between Cody and Aleister ended up being interrupted by both Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, both of their never-ending prior rivals, meaning the Aleister Black versus Damian Priest feud and the Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre feud will both be continuing after all. They teased that everyone was moving into new programs, but immediately reversed it by the end of the night, and fans were not so pleased with that move. So now it seems like both feuds will be continuing, and maybe they've even teased a tag team match between Cody and Damian versus Drew and Aleister. The other big twist, though, was that Drew McIntyre was also suspended for his actions at the end of SmackDown. Indefinite storyline suspensions are always a big and scary sounding thing within the moment, but they usually don't tend to last that long. Storyline suspensions usually last anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks, nothing really drastically longer than that. We saw an example of that even earlier in the year when Gunther was suspended indefinitely for his attack on Pat McAfee and was instantly brought back a few days later, or in 2023 when Jey Uso furiously quit WWE because of the stress his family was putting him under. That barely lasted 2 weeks. So when it comes to Drew's new suspension here, 1 to 3 weeks seems like a safe time frame to stick with. And once Drew is back, it absolutely surely seems like he'll have another WWE title match against Cody Rhodes. And after Drew loses that match, hopefully that serves as the feud's grand finale, so that Cody and Drew can finally move on to new things. Because it's truly impossible to imagine this feud continuing, especially if Drew loses again to Cody Rhodes. So fans are really claiming that there's no spark left in the story and feud between Cody and Drew. So we'll have to see if it's possible to get that spark back, and what exactly comes out of this suspension narrative with Drew McIntyre. Jade Cargill recently appeared on her first Smackdown as WWE Women's Champion, and coming into this title reign for Jade, the only thing everyone was very concerned about was the question of who in the world is she going to feud with, because the SmackDown Women's division is so bare and pretty much has no one at all for her to face. WWE did not reveal who Jade Cargill's first opponent will be. However, they did tease several potential future feuds for her. The biggest one being a teaser for a feud with Charlotte Flair. As Jade Cargill was leaving the ring after her promo, Charlotte Flair made her entrance for her match against Nia Jax. Charlotte and Jade got into an intense stare down with each other. Charlotte eventually just ignored Jade and kept on walking. But when Charlotte did her entrance twirl and saw that Jade was still there holding up the title, Charlotte almost went after her, but had to be held back by Alexa Bliss, who reinforced Charlotte's attention to her upcoming match with Nia Jax. So definitely a huge foreshadowing moment there that's meant to keep fans on the edge of their seats for the future of Jade Cargill's reign. The Jade and Charlotte feud won't be happening immediately in the near future, but that teaser there looks like it was telling fans to stay tuned, because down the line, we absolutely will see Jade versus Charlotte for the WWE Women's title. So Charlotte won't be the first feud, but that confirms that Charlotte will be coming after Jade at some point down the line. Jade has said on several occasions that Charlotte is one of her dream opponents, so it does seem like she'll be getting that dream match later on. But Jade later ended up confronting Chelsea Green and B-Fab backstage. B-Fab opened up her mouth, and Jade Cargill proposed a match, which B-Fab accepted. So it'll be Jade Cargill versus B-Fab next week on SmackDown. It doesn't seem like B-Fab will be Jade's first official feud, but it does look like this match's purpose will be to showcase Jade's power and look dominant in that big win. Jade's character work right now is definitely amazing, and by far her best character work in WWE that we've seen so far. She's this cocky, arrogant heel champion, and the best part about having a persona like this is that she can absolutely back it up in the ring. It's not just all talk or just an act. She really is this strong and dominant woman when the bell rings. And she truly feels like she owns the women's locker room right now as the women's champion. So definitely feels like there'll be a lot of great story to pull from there. And it'll be interesting to see babyfaces like Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair try to dethrone Jade Cargill and try to put an end to Jade's run. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.